Tuesday, and welcome back to our podcast conversation entitled Seasons. And as I greet you this morning, I know that many of us are making our way back to work on the heels of a Memorial Day weekend. I want to hold your experience there as I ask you, how do you feel about going back to work today as opposed to how it felt over the weekend? For many of us who experienced a little extended 3-day weekend with Memorial Day weekend, perhaps there was an air in the air in your life where you felt like you were on vacation. And certainly as many of us prepare to go back to work today, maybe that's going to feel a little different than what the weekend felt like. We can learn a lot about life if we just pay attention to life. And as we are talking about the seasons of life, yesterday we said that every season has a beginning and an end. It's going to start by something, and it's not going to last forever. Oftentimes what starts that season is either just a life event or God himself, and same is true with what ends a season. Sometimes life can end it, or God can intervene in our life or act in a certain way that season ends and a new one begins. Today I want to talk about how every season has a particular personality and feel. Regardless of what season you're going through, every season has a very distinct personality and feel. And let's go back to your experience. Doesn't a 3-day weekend have a very particular personality and feel? And doesn't that feel different than going back to work or the work week? If we just look at our experience, we know that the seasons in our week or the seasons in life, they all feel differently, don't they? And regardless of what season you're going through, it's going to have a very distinct personality. And our response to that is often influenced by our expectations of life. You can go through seasons of great joy and consolation. And in those seasons, like the season of engagement, or the season of perhaps a healthy pregnancy, the seasons of watching your kids thrive or you thrive in yourself. Those seasons have a lot of consolation, and we can embrace those seasons because of what we expected life to look like. We can embrace those seasons because of what we wanted life to look like. The seasons that are consoling feel a very particular way. But there are seasons in life which don't feel like that. They aren't consoling. Perhaps there's a season of struggle or time of being stretched. Maybe the season where your kids are struggling, or your kids are changing, or your marriage is struggling, or your marriage is changing. Maybe those seasons feel different. And maybe instead of feeling consoling, maybe they feel either difficult or hard, or however you might articulate it yourself. And we're going to respond to those seasons based off of what we hoped life would look like, or what we expected other people to do, or how we expected ourselves to be, or even what we expected God to do or not do. Every season in life, regardless of where you find yourself, is going to have a very unique and very distinct personality and feel. And it's important for us to know where we are, what season in life we're in, so that we can just be honest about how it feels. And in being honest with how it feels, we can be honest with how are we responding to life, and how are we finding God with us. I mentioned that particularly on the heels of the last 2 weeks. Prior to this podcast series, we were talking about finding God with us. And that is going to be one of the very distinct things that we're going to talk about on Friday, of finding God with us regardless of what season you're in. But if we aren't honest with the fact that every season has a very particular personality, and if we don't like how it feels, if we're reacting against that, then it's going to be very difficult enough for us to stay still so that God can find us and we can experience Him with us in the midst of wherever we are in life. So, yesterday and Sunday, I asked you to ask yourself, what season in life are you in? And I'm going to return to that today. Where are you in life? And more importantly, how do you know you're there? In other words, how does it feel? What is the particular personality of this season? What does it sound like or feel like, or what are the things that are happening to you? And with that, did you expect it to be in this season? And do you like being there? Are you trying to get out? Or what's your interior response to it? If we have the courage to look deep within, and if we have the courage to learn from life, then we can experience lots of grace regardless of where we are. Again, if you want these podcasts delivered to you via text or email, go to my blog, marktoops.com. Again, if you got this podcast forwarded to you and you'd like to receive these personally, go to my blog, marktoops.com. And right there on the homepage, you can sign up for that. Looking forward to being with you tomorrow. Tomorrow, what we're going to do is talk about how every season has something to accomplish in us. And that's actually very important for our ongoing growth in life. So take heart that we're going to learn how God is teaching us something about life and the season that we're in. But until that conversation unfolds tomorrow, hope that you enjoy the day, enjoy going back to work, enjoy the self-reflection. And again, until we see you tomorrow, God bless you.